This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Looking for entertainment everyone will love? TiVo Plus has you covered with over 300 free channels. From movies for family night to kids shows, live news, sports, and your favorite TV series all in one place. No sign-ups, no credit card required. Just turn on and enjoy. And with new channels and fresh content added all the time, there's always something to watch. TiVo Plus. Free, binge-worthy, and always on. Check us out at TiVo.com.
Hey, Nordo. Hey, PA.
Hi.
To quote our wonderful favorite person, Aaron Rodgers, we need to RELAX. It's only been 2 games. I encourage everyone to go look at Dante Culpepper's first start. He attempted 26 passes and threw for 26 yards with 2 interceptions. Have a good day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know to whom he's preaching, and we appreciate the talk back, and you're 10 of 10 right, because the McCarthy, let's say he makes all the dances this year, then we get 17. So then you get another off season, and you get half a season next year, and you're at the mark for yours truly that to which I've held true for a long time. You know, and I can't remember who told me this, but it's with quarterbacks, specifically rookies and people starting in new spots. Veterans are different. You got to give them 20 to 25 before you can be like, well, this guy doesn't belong and this guy does belong.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Caleb Williams, the way he held the ball last year and all those sacks he took, and the Williams will would supersede at times what they wanted to run last year. And that's been the case this year a little bit with Ben Johnson, where Caleb Williams is, I mean, he just does not look good consistently. We're approaching.
And GM's in trouble.
We're approaching enough of a sample size, you know, and I mean, you can dagger somebody after 1 or 2 games if you want. 9 to noon couldn't care less. I'm just saying over the course of time, it's generally 20 to 25 is what you need to give quarterbacks before you can really get a feel as to whether they belong, they don't belong, or they're backups.
I think I found somebody, though, via the talkbacks. You're like, I'm not sure who he's preaching to, and I agree with you. We need to give this cat some runway, but whether it was fan line last night or it was this morning, this is a sentiment that I saw a fair amount of.
Hey, this is JD over here in Florence, Texas. Just a scenario for you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
JJ, he's not cutting the mustard. I've said that since the beginning, before even the season began. How about
So you can stop it right there.
Start Max Rosner and have Wentz as a backup.
Right. See, when and this is with respect, appreciate you listening to the radio show down Texas way, but when somebody drops in, blah, 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 and I said this into the season, comma, that's social media radio.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where, with this generation and the social media, specifically Twitter-related generation, is when you make a proclamation on social media, and it happens a lot with the draft, it's 10 of 10, out of control with politics. You say something or make a proclamation, well, then there are screenshots and quote tweets and retweets and all that. You're kind of married to it, and you actually think about it more than you probably should think about it because it's real life, I guess, from a distraction standpoint, but what can you really do about it? So an opinion has been formulated by somebody. They wanted verbally in this social media type setting, because that's what, we work in a media related business, and this is a social radio show where lots of people have the opportunity to listen to it. So you formulate an opinion. Well, you really want to be right with that opinion. So,
you need to be.
You need to be. Yeah, you want to be, but it's almost need to be, despite your affiliation or allegiance to a team.
Correct.
That's a great way to put it.
You can love the team, but into the draft, or maybe you fell in love with Darnold a year ago, and you believed last spring.
Yeah.
And it's fair, and I'm sure some people did. I want Sam Darnold back.
Yeah.
Team decides they're going to roll with 9. Well, it may be as a Vikings fan, like you want the team to win, but I bet you there's an internal urge where you're looking for confirmation, which then in this particular case, confirmation bias. Oh, I knew this all along. I knew. What did you see from the summertime that told you that he was going to roll out and get sacked 9 times in the first 2 games? And so there's it's almost like you need to be right. And so I saw a fair amount of that, but it was nice. It was nice to catch, whether it was that first talk back and many others. We got to chill, guys. Well, we got to take a breath. This is going to be a long season.
Hey, the hyperbolic, at times vitriolic, and or over celebratory nature of a sports fan, I look in the mirror. It's been me before, not necessarily as much as it used to be, but it's been me before. Absolutely is and has been Mad Producer, who can get emotional with local sports teams. Yeah, we understand it. I mean, we're not saying it's unacceptable. It's just uninformed. Because, for instance, in watching back a quarter and a half of McCarthy's snaps yesterday, the things that actually are bugging me most right now through a quarter and a half is like when he attempted that fake flip to Jordan Mason to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Down inside. It was when we were first and goal from the 2. We kept going backwards. It was that possession. I mean, that's just sloppy. I mean, I don't know why he dropped it. I don't know if he has big or little hands or whatever, but like the play went kaput when that happened. And then you got, so there's been some ball handling situations that have been a little strange.
Was that before or after the false start? Or not the false start, the delay a game?
After.
Okay.
And secondly is, you don't want your lead vocalist to miss any notes during the course of any song, which would be a play. But it's age old where if you all 22 it, the greatest in the history of the NFL have missed huge hits down the field. I'm not seeing that with McCarthy. Mostly because he's not having time to bounce around in the pocket. But it's things are starting to develop now that you have 2 games of film study. You have 2 games of takes, tells, and talkers. And Atlanta played off what Chicago did, kept that linebacker middle of the field between the hash marks, arms outstretched, so that I can go here, I can go there, I can drop, and I just need a second and a half to confuse you.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're new. Okay, Chicago didn't do a lot of that with Tremaine Edmonds. It's not like the middle of the field was open all night, but that was something different. So they found a way to blitz 5, the rush 5, which means blitzing 1. It was not an all-out blitz, but it was a lot of blitzing. So they sent 5 a majority of the time from what I've seen, which means they still have 6 to go back in coverage.
Yeah.
Which means 5 against 4-ish skill guys going down the field. So in that equation, somebody is going to get lost. And from what I've seen so far through about 6-7 passes, the swing passes to Aaron Jones were missed. Yeah, there are at least 2 of them. And
there was one where he sat on a sack, and I mean, Aaron Jones is gone. That is, it feels like that's a touchdown right there.
Yeah, because Jefferson was blocking. So Jefferson knew this is where it's supposed to go. I like to catch. I don't necessarily like to do this with my gold cleats.
But this feels like 6, so I'm going to block on this one.
It probably would have been 6.
Oh.
Now, FEMA, Fairness and McCarthy Act, honestly, that thing was on him. So, I mean, Leonard Floyd was unblocked on that play. And he even stutter-stepped thinking, oh, geez, there goes 33. Yeah. I'm still going to come in there. And there was another guy who, let's see. Yeah, that was Caden Ellis, who...
he's not a bad player, by the way.
Yeah, he's nice.
It's kind of weird.
Caden Ellis blew by Brian O'Neill.
Yeah.
So he put Brian O'Neill on an L on that play. Floyd put himself on an L, but recovered. To hit Jones there, if it's not the A of the 5,
right,
on the menu,
it's tough. It's tight.
Well, it needs to be. I think it was the first read.
Oh, you think? Okay.
So, well, if it's not, then why is Jefferson blocking basically 2 steps into the drop?
That's a good point.
So McCarthy, this is where it gets difficult. I mean, he had 3/4 of a second, maybe a second and a quarter to do something on that play. So I guess you just go bang, 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 loop to the left side.
Right.
But you have no time to look at. See, that's how a pick 6 takes place, because you think it's there because you saw it all week and you know they're in the right formation and you know 18's going to block down the field. But the one time they have Divine Diablo in a different place and you just loop it out there and he picks it off and he goes 60.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't there.
Right.
So the play would have been A+. But it's difficult to really hone in on McCarthy for making a mistake there when he seriously had a second and a half to do something,
Well, what's the identification responsibilities on his end? Whether you had the bad protection situation, what goes into that communication on one of the sacks where the line just didn't acknowledge a guy? But how about in this situation? What's the responsibility of the kid QB? I know a lot's flying at him and he ended up under duress real quick. But what can he see pre-snap to know that Aaron Jones actually, given what I am now seeing pre-snap, maybe this was the leaky outlet if I need it.
Yeah.
But this needed to be the A, because you heard me after the first game, PA. I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder if the coach, is the coach a little loud in the headset right now? We're seeing him breaking huddles. The delay a game last night, they break the huddle with 10 seconds left. You get the delay a game. That just can't happen at the 2-yard line. But I'm also wondering, how much is this going to be some pre-snap number 9 is out there, and maybe the kid is indeed not making some of the decisions and the changes that need to be made before the ball is snapped.
Could be.
And I wonder if that aspect could be one of those instances.
Well, I'm guessing here. We're all guessing, quite honestly. Caden Ellis, 55, beating Brian O'Neill the way he did could not be part of the plan. Leaving Leonard Floyd unblocked could be part of the plan, because you, as a right-handed quarterback, you're gonna fade to fire and you're gonna see that's your front side.
Yeah, you
can get away from Leonard. He's old. You can run away from Leonard.
You do that in a lot of screens. Bring him up and get over him.
Or you just spin. And McCarthy's very comfortable spinning. I got to believe that the Jones swing left was the atopic on that individual play, or 18's not blocking the way he did down the field.
I think you're right.
But it's 55, got in there so fast. Let's pause. The analyst, Pete Bercich, analyst for the Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, joins 9 to Noon weekly, courtesy of Sukup Manufacturing and Sukup.com. And
stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights, because let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? WashableSofas.com has your back. Featuring the Anabay collection, the only designer sofa that's machine washable inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slipcovers made with performance fabrics. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Check out WashableSofas.com and get up to 60% off your Anabay sofa, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Over 300 channels, 0 bills. That's TiVo Plus. Curated movies, new series, and sports highlights. No credit card, no logins, just TV that gets straight to the good stuff. Grab the remote, press play, and start watching TiVo Plus. Free, binge-worthy, always on. Check us out at TiVo.com.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Each Apple product, like the iPhone, is thoughtfully designed by skilled designers. The titanium Apple Card is no different. It's laser-etched, has no numbers, and it earns you daily cash on everything you buy, including 3% back on everything at Apple. Apply for Apple Card on your iPhone in minutes. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
That's not fan. Throws right, badly overshoots Justin Jefferson. There was a flag, but this interception could be the first of the career of Xavier Watts. In fact, it will be penalty against the Vikings.
The Analyst.
Pete Bercich at Pete Bercich via the social media machine. 1026, good morning. Pete's inclusion courtesy of Sukup Manufacturing and Sukup.com. We heard the overthrow or the miss on Jefferson there, picked off by the Notre Dame rookie. If McCarthy hits Naylor on that 72-yard streaker, now they're down 9 points at that point, and there's still a fair amount of time to play, but you know better than anybody because you played it, man, and at a very high level collegiately and professionally. It's a momentum game. And if you can get that hit, do you think things might have been different? And good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's 7 points there, or 6. I mean, 7 if you get the PAT, but that they gave to you. Just a matter of execution. And there were a couple of opportunities like that were out there that we just didn't either, never had the chance to see them or capitalize on them. I think Paul getting a chance to look back at it a little bit. The part that bothers me, I think the most is just the way Atlanta, and you got to give them credit, fired off the ball on both sides, offensively and defensively early. Right. And we looked like we had just got off a Monday night game, and neither side of the ball really controlled the line of scrimmage early, and that set the tone. The Vikings made some adjustments, I think, in the running game, going to a 3-wide, type thing to get Atlanta's front just 4-man. That's their adjustment. Then we started having a little bit more in the way of success running the football, but early on it was, we just didn't match their quickness. They jet their D-line. They're north and south. They're a little different than some of what we've seen. But they controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football early on, and it was evident in a number of ways.
Is it too convenient to peg this loss on the voluminous amount of injuries Minnesota has, including those taken during the game, which are the worst?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you have to be aware of it, but it's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, injuries are part of everybody's experiencing that. And you're going to. You have depth at certain positions. Like, Eric Wilson coming in for, Cashman, I think did a good job. You have to find a way to get through all that and work around those things. And if there's a difference between the in-game ones and the ones that are going to happen, because you can game plan around some of those injuries that a guy's not going to be there for this week. It's the guys that get hurt, middle of the game and that kind of thing, when you got to throw like a Michael Juergens in for a Ryan Kelly, et cetera, et cetera. That's a little bit different, but everybody has them now. And, I had an interesting talk with Tony Dungy after the game, and he spoke with Raheem Morris, and Raheem Morris's big point was just eliminate the mistakes and get back to playing in football, blocking, tackling, the simple things. And Atlanta did that. They were very good up front. They were intense. They ran the football. That's a physical game plan. It's a physical identity and attitude that they brought to Minnesota, and it worked out for them. And for the Vikings, it's even though we have a young quarterback, it's kind of the same thing. We got to get back to being physical on the fronts on both sides of the football.
Are the Falcons better than you thought they were? They are for me.
Yeah, I think so. I was impressed. With them up front, especially defensively.
Yep.
I mean,
big time.
They were flying out the football, and they're getting help from guys like James Pierce, who's younger. Jalen Walker. I mean, you've got some younger guys up front that, and your buddy Ororo,
I know,
showed up a little bit. I mean, so they're a physical bunch up front, and they're definitely physical running. They didn't run the ball like this against Tampa Bay, that's for sure. Well, they definitely did not dedicate themselves to the run like they did against us.
Yeah, they had problems rushing the quarterback last year, as we discussed extensively last night. So what do? They draft a first-round Bulldog and a first-round Volunteer. Pierce and Walker were nothing. There was nothing great about them. In fact, Pierce didn't even show up in the stat line, played only 23 plays. But that just shows you with these kids, it is when they're gifted and talented, patience are required, but it can be a game-by-game complete turnaround. This 11, Jalen Walker, holy cow, was he good yesterday.
And the other thing, too, Paul, is just defensively, the play calling. They were they were aggressive. They blitzed. They sent people. They would send six. They would they were getting after it. They felt good with their safeties and their defensive backs and saying, you know what, we're going to be putting you guys in some rough spots, one-on-ones. We had opportunities, obviously, to win those battles. And I always go back to get a defense to slow down and get them on their heels. You got to beat them deep. That's the price that you have to make them pay if they want to blitz. Because why wouldn't you? If you can blitz and give up maybe a first down here or there, or 10 yards here or 5 yards there, why not? Why stop? Just be aggressive. But and it's like the Randy Moss factor, where if you blitz and you're short on coverage and they throw a deep ball his way, he's gonna put up 7 on the scoreboard. So we got to find a way to block those things up long enough and get aggressive and make them pay. And that's where the Jalen Nailor thing comes into play, right? You had an opportunity right there to make them rethink the concept of just pinning their ears back and getting after the quarterback.
The analyst Pete Bercich, courtesy of Sukup Manufacturing and Sukup.com.
Talking about our defense and all those injuries, one guy that had a big chance last night, Dallas Turner, he gets the sack, so he splashes a little bit. One thing you were mentioning on the broadcast, Pete, and I'd just like to kind of hear it again, maybe as you tell it through your eyes, is you were talking specifically against the run. It wasn't just Turner. It was effectively the entire defensive front having trouble getting off of their one-on-one blocks. So what were we not doing? What was the Atlanta's moving company doing to really lock us in and allow Bijan and Algier to handle business?
That's a great question.
The first guy to the ball didn't always make the tackle, right? So there was some tackling issues. Though. A lot of arm tackles, those kinds of things. we did, we got moved around up front a lot more than I recall last night. Just not controlling the line of scrimmage with our interior defensive linemen for a lot of that game, at least how it started. And of course, on the edge, I mean, Jonathan Grenard is as good as he is a pass rusher. He is so good and so physical against the run. You're not going to find a lot of guys that are like that. And Andrew Van Ginkel is also plays the run. He has a great feel for playing the run because they are asking in this scheme the outside linebackers to not only just contain. It's like their job is not just to turn the running back inside. They want these guys to be able to get off the block, set the edge, get off the block, and then make a play no matter which side the running back goes. If he goes outside, if he goes inside. And there were, I think Turner, I don't know if he guessed a couple times but the main priority is to turn the ball back inside. And when you lose contain, that's on the outside linebacker. And that happened, a couple of times. Was that why we lost this game? No, but it's one piece of a number of things that need to be tightened up. I think coverage wise, there were some really, really good things out there with Theo Jackson and Byron Murphy Jr. passing things off. I mean, there's coverage-wise, there was really there were some really good things. A couple mistakes, obviously, but there were some good things in the secondary that happened throughout this game too. So it's not all bleak. It's not all dark. There's some good things. And again, I think it's as simple as us taking the attitude that Atlanta brought here for this game.
It happened 2 weeks in a row. It's the team's languishing, and then shortly before half in Chicago, it was Jalen Naylor. I think that was a 25-yard pass, Reichard from 59 to at the bell to get that field goal. Last night, you saw Justin Jefferson for nearly 50, or maybe it was 50 on the dot, and then that preceded the long field goal from Reichard. You mentioned those deep passes or stretching the field, and I'm just curious how those opportunities will arise, because the frustrating part of missing Naylor is that was so few and far between the actual opportunities to stretch the field, Pete. So is there anything in particular you're seeing that, okay, this is what can give McCarthy that extra half second. This is what can give that route an extra half second to develop and give him those chances, because I am 100% totally with you. If JJ has to execute 15 play drives and put 3 touchdowns on the board a game, this team's going to win 2 games all season. The explosives with this offense, it's in the nature of it. It's got to be part of the conversation. I haven't seen very many chances through 2.
Well, all right, let's go back. Let's go back even further than that. And I've said it many times over the last two seasons, especially last year, going into the season with Sam Darnold, saying we have a quarterback-heavy offense. Our offense depends on the quarterback more than most. A lot more than a team like Baltimore. A lot more than in the number of teams out there. We ask our quarterback in the passing game to do a ton of different things. They've tweaked. They've had to change, right? They've had to adjust a number of things because we don't have the veteran presence at quarterback right now. These vertical routes that you're talking about, I think early on, like they're there now. If we can block up a blitz and give McCarthy, have him be able to identify it, and then let him just let it go. Right. I mean, he did against Jadon Naylor. He's got to put a little more air underneath it, I think. But those opportunities are there. I mean, you don't, in the NFL, how often do you see a receiver streaking vertically that's wide open? It doesn't happen that often. Why? Well, because teams usually don't just pin their ears back and say, you got a young quarterback, we're going to blitz them and force the issue. We're going to gamble on the fact that we are going to jump your underneath stuff and you're not going to be able to get the football off. And so you just have to start hitting some of those opportunities when they're there, right? The play action game. I think the hard part is we protect our quarterback so much better when you have 12 personnel, when you have 2 tight ends, because you can play fake and, Hawkinson and Oliver can be part of the pass pro. But we weren't able to run the football out of that because they were bringing in the extra defensive linemen. And physically, we tried it the first couple series of the game. We tried it that way, and it just wasn't working. So we had to adjust. And then, the whole thing goes, kind of goes sideways in that regard. But you have to find a way to be explosive. And we're still looking for that. We're still looking to find out what our guy can do. And whether it's reading a certain route, a high-low, a clear and dig, whatever that may be, they've got to figure it out pretty quickly. And keeping them upright's a problem. And, mistakes and turnovers. It's just the simple things. Again, against Cincinnati this weekend, what do they have to fix? You got to fix the penalties and you got to fix the turnovers. I don't care if it's a muff punt at the end of the game. It's still a turnover, right? You have to eliminate those things. And then it's the sacks, and then it's the fumble. It's just too many mistakes. You're not good enough right now to overcome all those mistakes, so you can't make them. And I think Coach O'Connell referred to that in his post-game press conference, where he's like, everybody around the quarterback has to play better. Everybody. They all have to elevate their game. And that, I think, is what he's referring to.
And lastly, for
the analyst,
we have this.
So what leads you then down the road, and kind of how I ended Fan Light, trying to find the optimism in it? You mentioned...
I was listening.
You were
listening.
Well, I appreciate you staying up late.
I want to go out and buy a Traeger so I can smoke hot dogs like Ron Johnson.
That's right. You guys are talking about smoking meat on
That's
Fan
some
Light.
spatchcock terrorism.
I'm like, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
Well, I just couldn't spend the entire time digging into these 6 sacks, digging into the 2 picks,
It's your
digging into the
job,
sack
man.
fumble.
It's your job. Do it.
I'm an adult child. I'm not here to report. I'm here to emote, whether it's positive,
well said,
or negative. But moving into this Bengals game, forget about Burrow, forget about all of that. Is you see that quarter that galvanized and really changed the entire conversation of an opener at Chicago. Then you see last night, and defense keeping team in it, getting gashed on the ground, but still close enough to be dangerous potentially. It doesn't come to fruition, but now Act 3. Whether it's optimism around, you saw those nice first down runs last night. We just didn't get enough physical runs. You saw a few throws and you're like, yeah, the kid's got the magic, but we didn't see enough of them, obviously. What are you optimistic about, or if you're focused on and into a week against the Bengals where you're like, if I see a bit more of this, I love our guys week 3 against the Bengals.
Dig it.
Offensively.
See, it's tough.
It's tough. It's hard.
You need the best guy. It's preferred to have at least some more of the best guys playing.
I need Darisaw.
Of course, that's going to help. I do believe that defenses are, the way that they're setting up, they're much more confident. They're much more on their toes instead of their heels, and trying to middle open defend a number of different routes in the passing game. And they're just pinning their ears back, blitzing. We're dealing with single high safety so much. We're leaving our wide receivers one-on-one on the outside, even when we reduce formations. And that was McCarthy on some of those out routes that got us to the 2-yard line. When you get to the 2-yard line, Nordo, you have to put the ball in the end zone.
Yes.
Period. End of statement.
Mason, though.
That has to happen. That will change things. But he stacked a couple nice throws on that drive, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go. So that's the part that I'm pointing to, that you're getting an extra week of film. You're kind of getting to see the trends that defenses are trying, are putting up against you, what they're trying to do, and then what you can do to combat it. But attacking the outside in the passing game, if teams want to keep putting all these guys down in the box, and we got to start doing that. You got to start attacking the outside. You got to give your quarterback time, and he's got to be a little bit more aware in the pocket and step up and keep his eyes downfield. And if you are going to run, pull the damn thing down and go. Don't mess around. And those are the things that can give you hope. But we have to be more physical up front on both sides of the football. That has to happen right now.
That analytical submission,
HOF.
courtesy of Sukup Manufacturing and Sukup.com. Thanks a lot, bud. See you soon.
All right, see you. Thank you.
Pete Bercich,
The analyst.
for the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network. News du Nord.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
TiVo Plus gives you 300 plus channels of movies, shows, sports, even kids' favorites, all free. And no, we don't want your credit card. Watch live, watch on demand, watch in your PJs eating pizza. It's all right there on your TiVo home screen. With so much variety from comedy and action to live news and family programming, you'll never run out of options. TiVo Plus. Free, binge-worthy, and always on. Check us out at TiVo.com.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Is next.
Welcome back, 9 to noon. It is time for News du Nord, and News du Nord is always brought to you by the casino at Canterbury Park, canterburypark.com for all event details. I believe this is the final week of live racing. There's 2 or 3 days left. I'm calling 3 days. I'm going to go Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
4 o'clock each day.
And, you know, Thursday, by the way, I don't know if are they doing the $2 bit? Because I know you're going to have Dave's faves. You're going to have an opportunity to win some money watching and wagering. But get to the website, canterburypark.com. 3 days left for live racing. And you're going to have some fairly warm weather this week, which should be nice. But here's the A topic with Canterbury right now, because you're feeling the felt. Poker, blackjack, table games all day, every day, all year round. Sips at Chips and Tip and Derek Allen. Pro Football Pick'em. All you have to do, Thursdays, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., you roll into Canterbury, maybe put a 50 spot down on the felt and see what you can do at the blackjack table. But make your picks at Canterbury every Thursday as part of their Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, because you just pick the winners on the weekend of football. There are weekly winners associated with that, so you get a little extra walking around money in your pocket. And at the end of the season, there's going to be a grand prize winner who gets free fuel for a year, courtesy of Quick Trip. So, Canterbury, all you do is have amazing fun, family style, and you can win some money with the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. Speaking of pro football,
you're the best, man. Thank you.
The NFL, thank you. The NFL engaged in activities yesterday, as in week 2, and we saw some fun ones, including this between Dallas and the New York Giants.
Snap, hold, 64, and sweet butter.
Sweet butter.
But don't hurry to re-sign the kicker.
Jeez, Brad.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. That's Brad Sham, and I believe it's the ticket. No, it's the fan down in Dallas, excuse me. You had Russell Wilson, and this is how it changes from week to week. Russ Wilson looked like he was cooked and needed to retire a week ago. Yesterday, made a big mistake in overtime, but he went for 450 and 3 TDs. But that 64-yard field goal ties it, sends it to overtime. Malik Neighbors out of his mind with a $167 and 2, but the Cowboys couldn't be stopped. And thanks to Mr. Aubrey, they found their way to a 40-37 overtime victory. This was my favorite game of the day, though, is Dan Campbell says, okay, welcome back, Ben Johnson. Appreciate your help. Appreciate all the things that you did. But we are just going to put it on you.
4th and goal for the Lions from the 4. Goff takes the snap, fakes the give, rolls right, got a man wide open. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1, 2, 3 times today. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
And they were man-to-man. Nobody ran with Amon-Ra. Nobody covered him. I mean, that had to be a missed assignment from the defensive side of the ball, but we'll take it.
If Dan Campbell has an axe to grind with you, hide the women and children. It started with the Green Bay Packers, where he beat them that final game of the season, cost him a postseason spot, and then he beat them, and now it's turned around a little bit. Dan Campbell is a former member of the Dallas Cowboys. If Dan Campbell and Jerry Jones, let's say, didn't have the greatest relationship for whatever the reason, and maybe they do, but they went down to Dallas, they're winning by 30 points, going for it on 4th down with Penei Sewell jet sweeps. So, I mean, he was grinding that axe last year or the year before against the Cowboys. Here comes beloved BJ, Ben Johnson, and 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions from the quarterback that, Ben really got the most out of. It had a little bit of take that. Take that. You got all the money. Sometimes you can fill your pockets, but empty your soul. We're going to take part in the emptying soul portion of the equation today. You can still have the money, but take this.
Yeah, and it's still early season, but my part of the Lions will regress in 2025. Part of it was that new coaching PA, but the philosophy was the same. And I saw that post.
I wouldn't back off that if I were you.
Well, I'm not necessarily backing off of it, but philosophically, I think you still see the same consistency of ideas, and that comes from Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell's still there. That's not new. But I love the post game with Ben Johnson. I'm having audio issues with the computer still. I'm sorry, but
when he talked about Goff.
Well, there was a bit on Goff, but it was, hey, did you any frustration they went there for that last touchdown? The audio you just heard, the highlight there. It's like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They don't kick field goals.
Right.
They go for it on 4th down. He's doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And you can tell he's frustrated because somebody just hung half 100 on him, but he gets it. So it was interesting, that dynamic. You say axe to grind. I wonder how much of it was maybe just you left the covenant. I'm going to show you what you miss. And now you're in the division. So we're going to remind you who's boss. But I wonder how much goes back to that last week, PA, where you do get thoroughly dispatched of by the Packers, and it's that cat who asked the question. You don't have any emotions. What's going on? Can you guys just run the exact same offense you ran a year ago? Can you just do that? And then Dan Campbell's like, well, why don't you go back and watch all of the motions and pre-snap bits specifically on the road?
Right.
Kind of inferring that things might be a little different in the home opener the next weekend. And then it was. Yeah. That offense looked as close to what you would expect, where Amon-Ra was all over the freaking place. You heard in the highlight the 3 TDs. Gibbs has it. Montgomery just banging in there. The physical aspect of his run. And the offensive line, maybe the most improved, not just the stat line, as big as and gaudy as it was. I thought that offensive line yesterday actually looked pretty darn good. Again, at home, there are different factors in that. I'm not ready to say they're winning 15. I just think that, the difference a week makes, the personal elements associated with it, they were just locked up tight yesterday. It was a terrific steamrolling affair.
They have so much high-end skill talent offensively. The one lost in the shuffle now is Sam Laporta, where it's just a work in progress with these new plays and stuff like that to get everybody involved. They had a couple of rushing touchdowns yesterday, and that's what they do. It starts with Gibbs and Montgomery. They play off that with Amon-Ra St. Brown, short yards after catch. And when you get that squared away, there goes Jameson over the top.
Yeah.
So it's a formula. It's formulaic in that if you watch it back game after game after game after game, you kind of see what they're trying to do there. But it still has some work in progress to it. Jervon Dexter Sr. is a fine pass rusher. He's not the greatest against the run from what I hear. Grady Jarrett probably has seen his better days. So moving them compared to what they faced the week before on the road, on grass is different. Those are all elements that matter. But after the game, Ben Johnson would not say Jared Goff's name. And it was bugging me when I watched about 7 minutes of that press conference.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
He just kept saying their quarterback, their quarterback, their quarterback, their quarterback. Bro, come on, man. I mean, you spent thousands of hours with this guy over X amount of years. Say his name, you know?
Do you think, again, trying to read deeply into it as I do because I'm incredibly neurotic.
Well, you don't analyze, you emote.
Well, correct. I'm an adult child. What if it's because he's just so down on his guy? That it's difficult for him to say Jared Goff's name, not because he's being petty and he's gone. Maybe a little bit because Jared put 305 on him. That hurts a little bit. But are you seeing the clomping around? Again, Caleb, the physical talent at a base level is so obvious and in your face all the time with this cat, how much talent that he has. He does that rollout yesterday, escapes pressure, appreciating the ability to use his legs, and then he just hucks that thing towards the boundary. Was that Kirby Joseph that picked it off? I forget exactly what it was.
Why does he do stuff like that?
That's just dumb.
Yeah, why does he did it a couple of times in the Vikings game.
Yes.
Where it's like, well, why did you do that when the obvious was throw it out of bounds, throw it in the ground or something? And 9 to noon is this is not your cast aspersions leader, the fan and KFAN.com. So therefore we're not big name callers or anything off that text you sent me yesterday. But Caleb needs to see it more quickly.
Yes.
The what's in front of him, okay, with that the voluminous nature of that Ben Johnson playbook, kind of like Kevin O'Connell and McCarthy, the same thing. Yeah, it doesn't bam like that. They did it a lot yesterday, not as much against the Lions as they did the Vikings, but Caleb under center, Caleb play action, Caleb do the best you can to turn your back on the defense.
Right.
And a couple of times they got Joseph or Branch, but Terry and Arnold did not have a great game. They got them to bite on the play action.
Yeah.
Those are the baby steps that are going to be shortchanged in this equation as they try to raise Caleb Williams. Now, I mean, you mentioned Ryan Poles, the general manager.
He's in trouble.
Well, it's what do we got here? Poles, I'm looking at the tweet machine. This is a rube, but he lays out some nice stuff. Eric Lambert. Poles has drafted 34 players as Bears general manager. 26 have played one or more seasons. None have made a Pro Bowl. He's the only GM in franchise history to have that honor at this moment. The Bears are 3-17 against the division under Poles' leadership, 15-38 overall, both worsts in the history of Chicago Bears football.
Oh,
and that franchise is more than 100 years old.
Yeah, and he's getting some flack now where, and maybe there's revisionist history associated with this. But part of it, I think, is factual, that he may have never had an interview with Jaden Daniels pre-draft, that he was kind of always on Caleb, that it was always Caleb from step 1 to step 100.
Well, that's that in its own right. If you are accurate, or if there's steam or rumors or whatever, and that could be from like Bears aggregators out there picking Dan Wiederer and what was the guy last week? Adam Hoke?
Oh, Adam Hoke, yeah.
Adam Hoke could be picking their takes and sharing them.
It's possible, yes.
But that
if that's accurate, woo.
It can't be accurate. I mean, if it is,
I hope it's not.
It's a borderline fireable offense. I don't know if the Vikings met with Caleb Williams and had him at the facility, even though probably there was virtually no chance they would draft him because of the spot from which they were picking.
The Bears met with him at the Combine in 2024, did not extend an official visit to Hallis Hall for Daniels, signaling their likely intention to draft Caleb Williams.
But see, when you do that, You usually draft the guy you didn't bring by the facility.
Yeah, because you get sneaky.
Yes, it's what the Vikings did with Harrison Smith. They met Harrison Smith at the Combine, maybe at the Notre Dame Pro Day.
Right.
No top 30, no facility visit, no steam.
It's a surprising pick.
And they traded from the second round into the end of the first round with the Ravens to get Hitman.
And that's just like what Kwesi did with Lewis Seed. I'm sorry.
The
team lost last night. I'm lashing out.
Emote on somebody else. Don't emote with buckets pouring on me. Hear me?
I hear you.
I'm having my own pain-related circumstances right now. I don't need yours.
I think if I'm Ben Johnson right now, my biggest worry is not that Caleb Williams isn't dropping back, throwing the worst pass. It's when he gets off schedule. Kind of the idea, if you're rolling in and you're Ben Johnson, it's like, I want to build this offense up, but I do know that he has some skills when he has to improvise and the athleticism takes over.
Right.
That would be the concerning factor when he's going off schedule. This is unscripted. Now he just has to be a cat that plays football at a high level, and he's making some of the mistakes that he's making there. That's a massive problem moving forward for the Bears.
I probably should listen to more of Caleb Williams' post-game press conferences before emoting. But in some things that I have either heard about him or heard from him, unlike, say, Drake May last year when he debuted, and J.J. McCarthy this year. McCarthy said it last night. There's a level of self-awareness without oversharing that, that protection needs to be a little better, and this needs to be a little better. But you know what? I kind of was the capital L on that whole play. And so we learned the preferences. We don't do it again, and we move forward. I just don't know if that's Caleb Williams.
Right.
I don't know if he's that guy who is like, like I get to the locker room last night, and the locker room. So I do the post game report with Bercich at Vikings.com. You can listen to it now. So we end the game, master control supervisor this, Diego that, rush back and do the post game report, and that takes probably 15 minutes. So generally speaking, when I run down to the locker room for drive-bys or whatever, it's bustling. I mean, people are chatting and stuff like that. I got down there, and the media, all the scribes, were still outside. So O'Connell kept the locker room closed longer than normal last night. So then we all walked in together, and you see a shirtless McCarthy now, on the side of the locker room where you enter. His stall is all the way to the other side to the left as you head back to the coaches' offices and the training rooms. And he was going up to every single player and like fist bumping them and bending down and whispering something. I don't know if it was my bad. I don't know if this is going to be okay. You gave everything, my man. I kind of let you down here. I don't know what it was, but I watched him go up to every single player who played in that game and circumnavigate that locker room. And they either embraced, they fist bumped, but there was some type of exchange there. Little things like that are important in this game, believe it or not, as trite or touchy-feely as some people may think they are. But it's important. And so there's culpability with McCarthy that I just know is in his heart and is there. I just wonder if that's the same thing with old Caleb.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how much of the Chiefs-Eagles game you were able to watch as you were starting to get into the pregame rituals and routines. Chiefs lose. They're now 0-2, and so I wonder at how you're selling. No Xavier Worthy, no Rashee Rice. Tough moment for future HOF.
Yep.
Travis Kelce he basically just did hot potato to that young back for the Eagles.
Yeah, he was out to lunch
on that pick
on that
at
play.
The goal line. But they're now 0-2.
I think they've lost either two in a row or the first two into the season since Patrick Mahomes became starter.
Yeah, that this would be the first time they've ever done that?
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's where, if you're a Broncos fan right now, you know how much it hurts that you lose that game yesterday to be able to start the season 2-0? If you are we got Monday Night Football, which, by the way, Out of nowhere, we got a doubleheader on Monday night. We got Bucks and Texans. Texans 2.5-point favorites over the Bucks at 6, and then we got the late one. Raiders hosting the Chargers. Raiders 3.5-point dogs at home. The Chargers, Harbaugh's group has a chance to start out 2-0 and keep the Chiefs at least for now. Because we know, I mean, I'm not counting out the Chiefs until they lose in the playoffs effectively. Yeah. But they have a chance to be up and looking down at the rest of the AFC West. Good opportunity for Ladd McConkey's bunch.
The con, if we're filling the tank of the Jeep and metaphorically heading south on 35 Dub,
okay,
or heading east on 94, where the tortoise roams.
Yeah, so the diamond or the turtle.
Correct. If we look to sparkle, or if we look to outrun the hare, that would be those taking the money
and the cherries.
I'm on Raiders money line tonight.
Who you are?
And it's going to be. I'm speculating. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Ashton Genty. National audience, meet Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's good with stuff like that. Even if they're taking away Genty, well, we still got a lot of game to play. Bowers is questionable, but I think he'll play. So watch. They're going to get all wound up over Bowers, who's the absolute bomb, which means the other guy, Michael Meyer, who also is gifted, I predict he catches a touchdown tonight, but things loosen enough so Genty steals the show this evening. And the Tuesday morning story is, how about the Las Vegas Raiders leading the AFC West at 2-0?
You know what? I mean, it's tough to put. Every team is in that division has a coach, has a dog.
Yep.
And Sean Payton. He's a dog and a Super Bowl winner. Harbaugh is a coach, brought a team to the Super Bowl before he went to college. And Pete Carroll, of course, has ring cred as well. I mean, that entire division, and that's before you get to Andy at Arrowhead. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, within a month, sadly, because I think the problems will persist for the Bears, we got to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. Lions still up and down, ebb and flow. I'm curious how they react to it. Packers look pretty good through 2.
Yeah, LaFleur's on a heater right now.
The AFC West, we might leave the month of September talking about the AFC West maybe being the toughest division in the NFL with a few double-digit winners in the mix potentially.
But the coaching thing that you just tripped on, I mean, Dan Campbell, he doesn't call the offense or the defense. So there's some CEO to Dan Campbell.
An elite leader of men.
Thank you. And that matters. That's part of a leader. That's part of leadership roles. And he's very good at it. You got O'Connell, reigning coach of the year. LaFleur's very, very smart. When he's on a roll, look what happens. And then you have Ben Johnson. Now, there still is a lot to be told with Ben Johnson leading the totality of a team.
Yeah.
All right. But, I mean, if it's a heaven or hell equation, I'm going to say that he belongs. That's where my discernment would go.
Yeah.
You just hit the West. How about the AFC North? I mean, Stefanski, as hellish as the Browns are, 2-time National Football League Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor is fantastic for the Cincinnati Bengals. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, that's not bad.
There's some dogs over there. You look at the AFC East. I mean, the NFC East.
Schottenheimer in Dallas.
Yeah, you got Schotty. Okay,
Dable.
We got a lot to prove with Schotty, but he got the money yesterday in overtime, and his team had 0 first downs until like 10 minutes to go in the first half. They ended up with 2 in the first half. Then they got a bunch in the second half. Daboll. I don't know, man, about Brian Daboll.
Well, here's the problem. He almost ruins the idea of KO getting the Coach of the Year nod last year because that is one of the more fraudulent situations I've seen as a fan. Is Daboll going, 9-6-1 and getting Coach of the Year?
And getting beaten by O'Connell in the penultimate that year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Vikings fans. Was that Dan the Man on the Fan from like 61 or something?
No, that was
whiteout?
Greg Joseph.
Oh, it was Greg the Leg. That's right.
Walk-off. But then you got Dan Quinn, and Dan's super well respected. So I like what you tripped on there.
Yeah, but Quinn gave up the 28-3 when he was with Atlanta, and then he had to drive down.
Yeah, but he was the defensive coordinator. I believe, or was he the head coach and Raheem Morris might have been the defensive coordinator?
In 2016, I thought Quinn was the head coach. Shanny was the OC.
Oh, that's right. Next level.
Before he went to he went to San Fran. Man, the coaching trees and bits and things.
Yes.
It's been an awesome 2 weeks. Sadly, our team on the wrong side of it last night.
News du Nord provided by Canterbury Park and CanterburyPark.com. Final 3 days of live racing for the 2025. We had a nice crowd on Saturday. Very, very vibrant, energetic crowd. That's just one of 8 million great things about Minnesota. It's a habit state, but they like their racetrack and they like gathering with friends and families and Avas and Stellas and Hannahs and things like that. And when they sense it's going to be gone for a while, they flock to the park. So hopefully that's the case Wednesday and Thursday. It should be closing day Saturday. CanterburyPark.com to get tickets and save money. And we begin each of those 3 days at 4 o'clock. When we return, we will unfurl some more NFL/Vikings related takes and talkers. Then the final 2 segments dedicated to phone calls and or talkbacks, kind of the way Nordo does it with Vikings Fan Line. Eric Nordquist produces, and I'm Paul Allen. It's 11:14. You're listening to FM 100.3 KFAN.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
There's nothing like sinking into luxury. At WashableSofas.com, you'll find the Anabay sofa, which combines ultimate comfort and design at an affordable price. And get this, it's the only sofa that's fully machine washable from top to bottom, starting at only $699. The stain-resistant performance fabric slipcovers and cloud-like frame duvet can go straight into your wash. Perfect for anyone with kids, pets, or anyone who loves an easy-to-clean, spotless sofa. With a modular design and changeable slipcovers, you can customize your sofa to fit any space and style. Whether you need a single chair, love seat, or a luxuriously large sectional, Anabay has you covered. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your home. Right now, you can shop up to 60% off store-wide with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Add a little to your life. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Looking for entertainment everyone will love? TiVo Plus has you covered with over 300 free channels. From movies for family night to kids shows, live news, sports, and your favorite TV series all in one place. No signups, no credit card required. Just turn on and enjoy. And with new channels and fresh content added all the time, there's always something to watch. TiVo Plus. Free, binge-worthy, and always on. Check us out at TiVo.com.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. The rush of racing? Nothing beats it. But Chumba Casino comes close. Chumba's got fast spins, fun games, daily bonuses, and all the action you can handle. Now that's a ride. Ready to hit the throttle? Get in the driver's seat and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.